Motherfucker, stayed off the fucking clip. Yeah, just how I do. Well, fuck you, everybody, man. You see the fucking thing in
The K district is absolutely mental. I don't think my mother would let me go to work if she knew what I was dealing with every day.
Any reason you have a hammer and a hatchet in the back of your car?
Everyone move back. Move back now.
My most favourite type of person to deal with is someone half mad. And I knew I was going to get all that in the K, like.
Fucking down the wankers.
We have a running joke that when you leave, you should get a medal. I survived the K.
It's out of this world. It's mad. All these words they've heard before, and it doesn't do justice.
Now we're in the face of the people that they're writing about in the papers every day.
Because what the fuck are you up to?
Well, we're just doing a bit of gardening.
My first day I got out, I thought I was after being dropped in Beirut.
It is the Wild West. Like, I went to one call one night and they had bow and arrows. They were firing arrows at each other.
Before I ever came out here, I'd heard about the K district and that it was a mad spot. It absolutely is everything people have said that it is.
People now, since the recession is over, think it's acceptable to go out and to, you know, take cocaine and nights out and stuff like that. And then we see what happens on the K streets.
Cocaine is something that is acceptable to average people, and I suppose it has become as accepted now as a night out and a few scoops in the pub. They don't perceive themselves as being part of this problem, but realistically, those drugs are actually coming out of houses in Finglas.
If you think that you're in a city centre bar and you're taking a little bit of cocaine and you're not contributing to or funding gangland crime, you're sadly mistaken.
Already gone in. Give us a second, will you?
Tom, you don't want to fucking kill me, come on.
Yeah.
A tiny amount of heroin or cocaine can be absolutely deadly, and the amount of drugs they have is passed up the line, it gets pooled with other drugs, and it eventually ends up in the people who organise the international shipments.
Come here now, do you remember the last time we searched your gaff over there? You told us something there and then there was something in the kitchen.
No, Tom.
So I'm just asking you again to be honest, okay?
So it's kind of like a glorified Ponzi scheme. Everybody pays in, but everybody gets their cut of a big shipment that comes out. It's all about easy money for them.
You don't know what's going on outside this.
So why do you think we're here this morning? Okay, I just want to show you, right, what's done. Yeah, there's cash here I'm going to show you, right?
It's not on the counter.
Right, anyway, what do you think that looks like?
It's drug deal.
20 grand.
Jammed in the kitchen.
Jammed?
Yeah, she says it's got to do with the log cabin and it's her father's for an inheritance and everything like that. But we're just going to go back and I'd say now we're going to probably end up arresting somebody for money laundering, you know? Just for example, right, that's €1,000, right?
Yeah.
And like, if there's 10 overdoses in that, just for example, like what did that cost the state and what does it cost the taxpayer, you know? When you consider that the poor unfortunate person with the addiction issues, like when you consider what that poor unfortunate had to do for that, the crime, like, you know, it's unbelievable really, isn't it?
It's kind of rare that you meet somebody that say they're selling the drugs to make money because they know the system. They know, you know, if you're a victim of drugs, that's the way to come across. You know, you could be dealt with more severely in the courts by saying you're selling drugs and you're actually making money out of it, rather than I'm a victim in all of this.
In the K, we have a team of members that are dedicated to targeting individuals involved in the sale and supply of drugs due to the large volumes of drugs and the impact of drugs at different levels in the community. So their job is to gather intelligence, identify who's involved in street dealing, right up to those that stash and hoard the drugs for distribution to that level.
Have you got cannabis in the house? Have you weed in the house?
Yeah.
How much? 5 grams? That's it? Yeah. He said there's only 5 grams, which €100, thereabouts. He's coming around with us to the house. He's been told there's a warrant. Anyone here, no?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. Where's your room? Which room? Outside.
How much is that working?
Don't know, we have to weigh it, but it's in the hundreds anyway at the minute. We're going way 225.
325, 335.
Whatever, the rooms aren't done upstairs. Small bags. Vacuum packed bags.
When I started in the Guards, people smoked hash, right? And then weed started getting more and more prominent. THC level now in cannabis, it's 4 times stronger than what it used to be.
What's that stuff in your bedroom?
This?
Yeah.
It's flour.
Flour?
Yeah.
Do you bake in the bedroom?
No, my baby was playing with it.
Cooking up crack, he's everything there for cooking. He's obviously mixing it with coke and he's ammonia.
He says that white stuff speed.
Yeah, the speed there as well.
You more of it?
Say, yeah. That's a vacuum pack thing for vacuum packing as well.
You have people addicted to drugs, selling drugs because they owe money for drugs. They're kind of ensnared in the lifestyle it leads to. You get people from all over. They'll get the bus stop is there, they'll get drugs and back onto the next bus and they'll be gone again.
There's so much money to be made. People drive from all over to Finglas, like surrounding counties, to come up and get drugs, because if you can't get anywhere else, you can come up to Finglas and get it.
How long are you doing drugs?
Since I'm about 12 years of age.
And how old are you now?
Cannabis, 36. Then methadone, heroin. But then when the crack came on the scene, my God, it fucked up the whole bleeding place.
How many would you use now in a day?
Yesterday I got £120 worth. We get half a night, to be honest.
All gone?
Yeah, gone in about 20 minutes.
I think I've nearly seen all types of drugs now at this stage. Cocaine, you have crack cocaine, we have heroin, you know, so there's a lot of that going around now.
Do you apply cottages or X's of stores if you have a protection order against them?
Go with the location there. I think they might be looking for assistance. He's kicking off.
Is he driving?
No, he's walking. Kilo Alpha 104.
He's standing all over me! He's standing all over me!
Stop! Resist!
He's standing all over me! Help! He's stamping all over me! Help! On yourself! He's stamping all over me! Help! 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 Let go me leg! Let go me leg! Stop! Let go me leg! We're stopping it! Help me, please!
No kicking off now, alright? Keep it there. Alright, keep it there, put the leg in.
Yeah, stop hitting me! I'm not fighting!
No one's hitting you.
Stop hitting me!
Watch your head.
Watch your head, Greg.
Head down.
Head down.
Please don't hit me, I'm begging.
Keep your head down.
You guess.
Good man. Good man, that's it.
I didn't think the job.
Keep your head down. Keep your head down.
Will you listen to me, please, sir? There's good corn on my face, I'm not fucking fighting.
You are.
Turn left. There you go.
We're under-resourced. So the 6 people that were dealing with him on the side of the road then had to bring him back to the station, and he didn't calm down at all.
Stop
smashing your head. You're making it worse for yourself.
Stop. He's batting me for nothing, that's what.
No one's bashing you.
Yeah, obviously you fucking slut.
Oh yeah, grand. Good luck.
Stop. Put your hand behind your back for me, will you?
No. Open
The way you behave is going to dictate what we do next, all right? Now, as soon as you calm down, we'll leave.
It's like they've superhuman strength. Like, they will not feel it. Like, and that's your issue. Like, you know.
Now there, look, there you go. You're breathing very well there. The cuffs have to go back on you because of your behaviour. You all right? What happened to you? He bit you on the leg. You all right?
Yeah, I think it's my fault. So the same 6 that were battling him had an hour and a half of having basically to subdue him in the cell because he was trying to self-harm himself. Like.
Once the doctor comes, I'll get him to check your head, alright? I'll get your headache tablets, alright?
Doctor is here, alright? Can I get you to sit down, please? If you're feeling some pain here, I can give you some tablets. Can I go to the hospital? No, this is superficial, yeah?
Do you want tablets, he's asking you?
You want them for pain?
Yeah, we'll take the handcuffs off you then.
Oh, well, thanks very much, you're a fucking gem.
The next morning, he had no clue what had happened. Like, you know, he would have been sore, I've no doubt about that, from, you know, the injuries that he caused himself. But apart from that, he didn't know what had happened the night before, like, because he was that out of it, like.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Good man. No better way to spend it.
There's an armed member on each team and there's a breacher on each team. Ray is going to do prisoner escort for us, the van's there, so if you get a prisoner, just give Ray a shout. So the hope would be whatever searches do first, if you get a prisoner there, the arrested member go with Ray and the rest of the team continue on, go to the next location. Oh yeah, just another thing, be mindful about company cars outside. Just give outside a good search if there's any cars you think are bogeying, because I suppose the MO around here seems to be they're putting it in cars. Team 2, Dan, and Dan's going to do the breaching. Dwayne, Fran, Kirsty and Ryan. And Richie, will you be the armed member on that team? Team 3 is Kev, Brian, Simon, Craig and Rebecca, and Will is going to be the breacher and he's the armed member on that as well. O'Malley, your team is you, Rob, Paddy, Karen, Niamh, and Rory will go with you as well. It's going to be carnage now, isn't it?
Huh?
It's going to be chaos.
It's all about not knocking on the door and forcing an entry and using the rammer, Bernie. The whole point is the element of surprise. If people knew that the guards were coming around to their house, people wouldn't have drugs or illegal things in their house.
Gardy!
It's all about getting in as quick and as safely as we can so we can get everyone in the house under control and so no evidence or drugs would be lost.
Calm down. You're banging through the door like that.
Tell him to calm down, calm down.
I've had this conversation with people, like, the house full of drugs and they're giving out with the door going in. Like, I'm trying to explain to them, like, grand, the door won't come off the hinges if you ring me the next time and you say, look, it's on the doorstep and I'll pile it up for you. Like, it's just a mentality.
We don't lock on doors in drug dealers' houses.
He's not a drug dealer. I know he's not a drug dealer, right?
Hold on now. Yeah, okay, Grant. Well, we'll agree to disagree, yeah? We came here for drugs, but they're finding drugs. All right, so as much as they're giving out about going to other people's houses, this was the right house for us to go to. And we don't knock on the door.
I didn't know.
Okay, well, now you know. There's about to be weed and cocaine found up there, all right? And a load of money. What did you get there?
There's about 10 grand of weed anyway. A good bit of coke as well.
Yeah, there was a good bit of coke, so we're saying 2 to 3 ounces, but we'll have to weigh it properly. We had everything, like the wagon, the weighing scales, money, and the big thing about him is he hasn't got a clue how much is there, like, so.
No,
yeah, he's like, I think I have around 3 grand, definitely more than 3 grand there, like. And he had bagging, everything. It was a great day for the parish. And
50 grams. What's 50 by 20?
Don't ask me, Max, please.
You get the info.
Right, you have to bag that back. Have you got to send us that photograph? Of
Yeah,
it,
I know.
This is just 4 weeks worth of stuff here. And the likes of this bag of heroin here, that's about 35,000 euros worth. That was taken in the search, yeah. Cannabis, individual deals of cocaine, they were found in another search. That's just 4 weeks, yeah. Here, this is a kilo of weed here as well. When the guards seize drugs, they put them in these barcoded bags. They put them into a drug safe. We then take them out of the drug safe and update them on pulse and bring them to the forensic science lab for analysis. So that's a receipt that we'll get from Forensic Science Ireland when we drop the drugs up. And then once that's submitted, you get a cert then, certificate of analysis, which will tell you what the drugs were, the weight of them, what section they're illegal under, the Misuse of Drugs Act. That would be used then for court purposes and given to the solicitor as proof of what illegal drugs were seized in the case.
What's the hurry? What's the hurry? You're flying around like a lunatic.
Because you don't leave me alone.
I've stopped you about twice in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm on camera. I will. Who owns the weed in your car? Who owns the drugs in your car? That's drugs there, or is it oregano? That's your bag of weed, is it? Is it? All right, fair enough. Now there's a reason for flying around after you, isn't there? You didn't know it was in your...
It's a Friday.
Oh, sorry, it's a Friday.
Cannabis is everywhere now. It's like just getting hold of a pack of cigarettes. They could be stoned off their head and they're driving around willy-nilly, and you know, someone can end up dying at the back of it, and people don't realise that.
The gangland stuff, it's definitely at its worst, and I don't trust anyone anymore, and I don't trust any traffic stop, and I don't trust any call that we go to. And before, you know, it was a lot of like, you know, joyriding and your little bits of drugs and your criminal damages. Now it's like, I'm not going up there unless there's another 2 or 3 cars, because I don't know what you're going into now. Where did we meet recently?
Over Ashtown.
In Ashtown? Yeah. Ah, Cokey McCokerson. Jump out there. How many jumpers have we got on?
Oh, it's cold out there. You're not cold.
Do you know where it wouldn't be cold? Right. In your bed. We're after getting him here. He was hiding in on the grass here. He's in custody. It's just that Passat's after taking off at speed. 2 tiny little young fellas in the front. One of them stupid Gucci hats. An innocent person doesn't get out of the car and leg it from the guards. Panicked about what?
No, I just don't like this situation.
What situation? You're the one that's after creating the situation. All we want to know is who was sitting in the car when these are up there. What's wrong with you?
I don't feel it at all.
Yeah, because you're after getting caught out and you have to run like an idiot. I think because the place is so serious and because the place is so busy, you have to be a bit eccentric in your own way. Where are you from, pal?
Baldoyle.
Baldoyle? You have to come the whole way over here for weed?
There's no name around Coolock. Well, the fella get it off anyway.
The fella in Coolock's all sold out? Yeah. What age are you? 34. What? What face cream do you use, man? Chill out a little bit or something. Do you want a hug? Do you want a hug?
No,
do you want a hug?
I'd actually do, yeah.
Would you like a hug?
It's freezing.
It is cold. A bag of Coke fell from the sky and into that Audi. Same Audi he got out of. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. And no one knows who owns the Coke. It's crazy. Madness.
And what's happened is Flashy heads up the Gucci gang. They have an alignment with the Irish Kinahan organisation.
The level of firearms that this gang had access to is frightening.
The body of the man found on Monday night at around 8 o'clock.
The body's been identified as that of a male who died as a result of gunshot wounds.
What's happened is that the Gucci gang used that Kinahan connection to create fear and to try and gain ownership over a lot of territory.
The particular gang of thugs and criminals have a, I suppose you could call it a clubhouse, for lack of a better word, and that's where they congregate.
What happened to glass?
What glass?
That glass.
That's fitted out with bulletproof glass, CCTV, reinforced doors, and that's where they operate from. The very perception of calling a gang after a premium brand product, it says to other young people in the community, there's wealth there if we go down that road.
They operate at a street level. They're a disorganised bunch from mid-teenage years right up to their early 20s. They look at taking control of young males within their community to use them as individuals, as safe houses for storing drugs, for moving firearms, for sale and supply of drugs at a street level.
These are common criminals, they're thugs, they terrorise the local community, and any perception that they are something very important, I think people need to be disabused of that notion.
They do have access to firearms. They do have access to explosives, and they are actively targeting other individuals and targeting members of the guards that are stationed in the quay.
Look at the size of that young fella.
On the ground now!
Out! I'm very suspicious when we observed you coming from the avenue. This is a known drug area. Do you do any drugs?
I'm ready on the ground!
He could have went down left. I couldn't see what he was wearing.
We go, guard, we go. We go.
clue, I didn't see. They were literally, I was standing at the back, loads of people running, and all I heard was petrol.
This younger crowd now, they buy their flashy runners and they buy their flashy coats and they buy their Canada Goose and they buy this and they wear their Gucci belt that's €200 and it's just like, I know what you're doing now because you're doing this. And then they say to you, you know, they're driving a Merc car. What do you do for a living? I don't work. I already know now I need to start looking at you. What is that passing through the window? Yeah, what was he passing us through the window?
What are you working at? A few different jobs.
You working, Dylan? What do you do for a living?
We fella cars and all that again.
Very good.
I mean, these young lads, they're seeing the likes of the Gucci gang, as they're called, making money hand over fist. You know, they're seeing that they're getting caught with drugs. They're not getting locked up. Again, what's to stop them, or what's to deter them from going into that lifestyle? And they're making money. They're going around in their nice clothes. So why wouldn't you?
Sure, how do you know it's a real Gucci cap?
Because I was there when he bought it.
Were you?
Oh, that's a fake boy.
I was there myself.
Yeah. In the kiddie section.
No.
Yeah, no. Which one was it?
In the Gucci section.
In the Gucci section. In where all the other girls buy their Gucci stuff.
Sure is.
Get the strip search.
They know. In Seven Reach you can have a buzz with you, you can have a laugh at you. But if you start your shit and you start your crap, it's done.
You jump out of that car there and take the numbers off. Right?
You want me to? What'll you do?
You're gonna say it back.
You're gonna say it like.
Should have fucking said take your numbers off.
So stop showing off in front of all of them. You are showing off. Come on out then. You're so brave now that I came out to you.
We're standing here, Simon. What? We're standing here.
What's getting 20 yard?
What do you do?
Great when you hide behind the crowd, isn't it?
They're recruiting a lot younger, I find. It's very young now, like you've 13, 14, 15-year-olds doing jobs for them. Whatever about standing in the driveway, there's actual like kids in that driveway.
Yeah.
Like he's showing off in front of children.
Fuck the daddy. Shake. That can blow me, you know. Look at you fucking rat.
Every single day you hear it.
Being a rat was always a term used for people that were giving information to the guards.
You are a rat. You are a rat. You are a rat, you little bacon bitch.
But now the guards are rats and everything, so I don't really know.
When I was younger, it was always pigs.
I think one person started it one day and that's it. Like, you know the way they love to copy each other. They all dress the same, they all walk the same, they stand the same, they put their hands down their front the same.
Sometimes they're hanging on the street, their mates are calling them rats because they're having a conversation with us.
I think it's because we interrupt their lifestyle. We're constantly on their tails.
The objectives of today's searches are to secure the search area prior to the commencement of the search and locate and recover the firearm and the explosives safely without any injury or risk to members or the public. Again, your personal safety, lads. We're looking for firearms, we're looking for grenades. We don't know how safe these items are. We don't know if they're loaded, ready for use. We don't know, are the grenades safe if they are there. The explosive dog is going to go in first, so there's no searching to be carried out until the dog has done its duty. Minimum amount of vehicles on site. So if we can just get your stuff together and be downstairs, we'll look to go for a quarter.
All units stand by there for second time. 3 units en route there, over.
It's nice and quiet. Good.
Gardy!
Well, a lot of the time we have synchronised searches where we'll have a few of the same gang members being targeted by ourselves on warrants. So what will happen is we'll synchronise it that the doors all go in at the exact same time so that nobody then can give the other person the biddy that we're around.
3 dogs out the back there, so yeah. Don't go out to them. We're going to get the dog warden to move the dogs if he doesn't want to move them for us. You're the householder here, are you? Is there anyone else in the house? No?
No.
Okay.
Is there anything you know that's here? That should be here? Of any variety?
No.
Any drugs, guns, anything like that?
No.
Load the police down here. Load that police. The whole road is full of police.
We're carrying out a number of searches here in the area at the minute, and I have a warrant issued by a judge of a district court to search your gardens.
Now, who's the man now? Who is he? Will I give him back to Barney, will I? Another dog, is it, boys? Another dog. Dave, you're never going to find anything.
I see it probably as a good thing. I'm obviously doing my job if my name is known by them. They like to feel that they know you as much as you think you know them. To them, it's an intimidation factor. To me, it doesn't really bother me too much.
You want to see the police down here? You swear someone was at the bin fucking. You want to see the amount of police?
Look, we're there a lot, like, you know, most days we could be up to 10 times patrolling, but like it can be the case that if we're doing searches that we could hit you on a Tuesday and we could be back there on a Wednesday. Like, we're continually monitoring. If there's somebody or there's something there suspicious and we believe that it's in relation to drug offences or firearms offences, like, we're coming back. Like, just because we hit it once doesn't mean that's it, it's done. Like, it's a continuous basis.
Like today was 5 different houses and each of them presented different problems and different scenarios. That's one of the main houses that we believed that the firearms were going to be in, and as you can see, the difficulty there is where do you start and how do you tackle it where it's going to be safe. It is disappointing. You put a lot of time and effort into it and you stop everything else to do these searches, and that's ultimately you have to do it. If you don't look, you won't find. But the fact that we haven't found it, at least we've looked, at least we've attempted to firm up on the intelligence that we had. Unfortunately, today we've come away with nothing, but you only have to be lucky once, as they say.
We're just in the era that social media is so prevalent, like, and they use it, like, you know, and successfully as well.
The day of ringing a dealer is gone. It's Snapchat and Instagram now, like, that's how everything is sold. Then it's from our perspective, looking in on top of that, how do we target that or how do we combat that? Like, if they have a Snapchat, all they have to do is delete their story and that's where everyone's gone in seconds. It's very hard to find out who's doing what, because essentially you'd have to have Snapchat and you'd have to have their Instagram. Without social media, they wouldn't probably be as active as they are. I don't know where it's going to evolve or where it's going to go from here, and what power we're going to be given to combat that.
How's your business going? Yeah. Is it? Making a mint? Yeah. How many have you got working for you?
You might buy a bigger pair of shorts, will you?
You don't like the camera, do you not? Why not? You didn't get a chance to gel the hair today, did you not? We'll give a bit notice the next time. You can have the hair gel and you can have a pair of trousers on you.
Social media is a huge platform for criminals. The younger criminal, I will say, and the one that's probably not so smart, like, they will show the trappings of wealth. What they also do is call each other out on social media.
What's the wee one like? It's a nice body axe, yeah?
So they will tag the other person who they're feuding with. They will be in the local haunts that the other feud frequent, and they will then upload it to social media, basically calling them out, saying, I'm outside the chipper that you use now, what are you going to do about it? Like, so that has definitely fueled the fires of the feuds for us.
Yeah, will you put me up? What's your name, your badge number? 253, yeah? No, boss, says again, have a good one, lads. Bunch of wankers. Go fuck yourself, show up your hole.
It's about intimidation. It's about intimidating the communities that these people operate within. It's about trying to intimidate the guards by posting them personally, I suppose, on social media in a negative manner, trying to, I suppose, fracture the relationships between the guards and the community by the amount of stuff that's posted on social media.
Hey, Richie, find it look like. Why is little brother?
John Santry, the big nose bastard. The size of his nose. Two dickheads.
Fuck off out of my gag news too.
Yeah, Devin's here as well, yeah.
No problem. Just stick it out the window from now on.
No bother. Yeah, no bother at all. Go on, fuck off.
We don't need it.
Fuck off.
You get a bar job. You're going to have lots of work, lads. I'm going to start picking bodies up, you sir. Don't worry about it.
We have you, yeah?
What I was taught in college was, when you're doing your duty, you do it as if you're being filmed. And that means you to perform your duties to the highest standard, that you're not going to get any complaints, you're doing your job as you should do it.
Get out of here. Go, out of here.
I've got nothing to do with
Grant,
it.
get out of here. Put the phone away. Walk. Walk.
So like if they want to film me, yeah, fair enough, you're going to tell them to put the phone away. But more than nine times out of 10, they're not going to put it away.
Put your hands
Put your hands behind your back.
Put behind your back. Jesus Christ, what have we done wrong? I've left the pub.
Put your hands behind your back.
I've left the pub.
I'm not going to ask you again. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
Why?
Section 6 of the Public Order Act.
We regularly get threatened, regularly attempts to intimidate us. We've had it in the past with people trying to identify us on social media and offer money.
Where are you living? Blanchardstown. 21 Hot Wheels Drive.
You go to a serious incident and then you turn around and there's somebody with a phone stuck in your face. We don't know, is that person there to help the person we're trying to arrest or we're trying to deal with? We don't know what their motive is behind what they're doing.
Don't spray him! Don't spray him, guys. Don't spray him, please. Don't spray him. No, no! Just get out to them, will you?
It's all in your face, and they have rights, they know their rights, and it's all aggression. It's huge aggression. And then when you get the organised criminals that are, you know, threatening you or trying to get leverage on you, it's to try and bully you or intimidate you into not doing your job. And then if we can't do our job, then it breaks down with society. Like, where does the line draw? Not that we're desensitised, you just put it at the back of your mind, you just get on with your job.
I have this on recording anyways. I'm entitled to record it. Just if anything goes wrong or that, you know.
Record away your name.
What's your address?
Can I get your name, please?
Primary.
Can I get your name, please, sir?
Stop resisting.
He's not resisting at all, guard. He's not resisting. There's 10 years on him. He's not resisting anybody. He's not resisting anybody. Video camera, girl. Hello. Move away. Move away. Video. Free man.
What frustrates me, it's not the fact that we're being recorded. We're not doing anything wrong. Record is all you want. It's not going to show us in a bad light at all whatsoever. But what gets me is the editing that they do to these clips sometimes. So the public sees a 15-second clip of us riled up and us acting in a certain way, but they don't see the 10 seconds previous, or the lead up to what has made us act the way we're acting.
Hasn't done a single thing.
Get away. Get away when you're told to, all right? Get away.
Yeah, all right?
Yeah.
We'll bring you down to hospital, so. Do you want an ambulance?
Yeah, will you fly him down to the hospital, so?
He's after dislocating his shoulder.
They're much more visible now in relation to what they're doing, like, and they're using social media as their platform, most certainly, like.
That is just absolute severe, utter violence towards property, towards people.
They don't know who's in that house and they're firing things into it, as well as the cars and stuff like that. It's just like they've no regard for anyone's property whatsoever, or anyone's life even.
You're fine. Fucking hell. 4, 3, 2.
It's fairly cowardly in my eyes. Like, they're not showing their faces, they're just showing what they're doing. But it is definitely their shop front, and it's something that I think we kind of need to get a little bit more clued up on.
Do you know, I suppose there was a time where they just used fists, but now they're cutting each other, or stabbing each other, or shooting each other. Social media, it's a double-edged sword. You know, it does great for some people, and it can bring you down as quick as it can bring you up. Like that there, people know that guy, you know, and once it's up on social media, it's up there for life.
It's sad to see so many young people involved in it. Very quickly, they've gone into this spiral of they're given drugs to hold. The police raid the house, the drugs are taken, now they have a debt. The debt goes from €5,000. A week later, they tell them it's €10,000. They end up on a pathway to either prison or, you know, seriously injured or dead.
Right, lads, we're going to crack
crack on. I'm just conscious that we want to get doors in. Our operation this morning is on the yard up on Road Cottages. What we're focused on this morning is gathering further evidence in respect of organised crime generally. It's a difficult enough site because of the risk that's presented up there. They're involved in a number of field incidents. They're actively involved in targeting around the city, so the firearms will possibly be in close proximity to them. They're displaying access to convertible Porsches, access to expensive Rolexes that we're happy are genuine and not counterfeit or anything like that. So there has to be a cab aspect to what we're doing up there this morning. Best of luck, lads. Thanks a million.
Open up the door, it's going in. Good woman, open up the door. I'm around the back there, lads.
Yeah, Dwayne's on there.
Dwayne, get around there. Good morning, Gardaí. How are you?
For fuck's sake.
Good morning, how are you? Celine is my name. Girls, will you just come into the kitchen here, we speak to our ma'am? No, hold on now, just come back here, I want to go through. Hold on now. Come back in, please. Yeah, no, come back in, I want to go through the thing. You won't be getting out the money. Come in here, I'm going to go through the warrant with you, and then we want you to get your phone down, right? Come into the kitchen. All right? Now, can we keep it up? I'm not going to... Keep it up, obstruction under the warrant. Oh, will you?
Yeah, I will.
Will you?
2 little foot, nothing standing.
Go on, will you? You'll be getting the handcuffs thrown on you now, and you'll be getting thrown out, like... Absolutely, I will. Oh, you will. Yeah, absolutely will.
The drug scene is run as a business and it's controlled by criminals. And then I suppose those that are involved in that are looking at countering the policing operations. They don't want to lose money, they don't want to lose their drugs, they don't want to lose the money that they see us targeting with the support of CAB, taking the wealth that they're starting to build up. And that becomes important to them at a lower level, I suppose, within those gangs, where we see the young people wearing high-value clothing, high-value runners, watches, simple items like that. And I suppose at a district level, that's something that we're actively targeting.
Being a real little bastard now to come in.
So,
The last time you see me.
okay, so basically we've a money laundering investigation underway, okay? We believe that's the proceeds of crime.
Fuck out me way, honestly.
Come here, you're going to be arrested now by the guard here, right?
What am I getting arrested for?
For handling stolen property.
I don't have any none of them. This is not me house. Let go of my hands.
Go on, good woman.
Let go. I'd love to know the days after you, you horrible little, ugly little bastard.
Go on, good woman.
And I promise you, I'll get a proper charge because I'll dig you around.
Of course.
You're
saying it all morning. You're saying it all morning.
You relax yourself, will you? That's not true.
Would you like to get anything for you in the house?
Well, in the first day we got stolen property, that's going to be in our wealth affairs and lives there. So we have stuff like that, a lot of stuff related to tracking the wealth, like Louis Vuitton handbags, like Vuitton's kind of high-value items, Rolexes, and then within the outbuilt of the things, there's a lot of road remains. So yeah, to be fair, like we're just only in probably 20 minutes, like kind of the volume of stuff that we found so far, like, but it's very much ongoing, like in relation to what hopefully more stuff here.
A kilo of heroin, it's well, to keep it dry as well, the humidifier. Probably up to a kilo, I'd say. More cocaine then.
This perception that there's nice things out of being involved with drug dealing and getting involved with gangs, that's what gets young people involved. So it's important for us kind of to strip away, I suppose, the assets that's associated with that.
Suspected cocaine here, obviously subject to analysis. More cocaine, which is vacuum packed, and then additional cocaine then again, which is packed into separate baggies.
Do you know how much is here?
Just hitting 300,000, I think, a little bit over. Absolutely fantastic. Biggest I've seen since I joined the Guards.
It is a game of cat and mouse. And this is what frustrates me sometimes when we deal with people who are involved in criminality and they have an issue with the guards, actually stopping them and dealing with them. If that's the life you sign up to, we are going to be part of it. It's collateral damage for them. They should just accept that once they're involved in criminality, we're going to be around, like, you know. And I always think as well that when, you know, you're involved in it, one day we will get you, like.
Lads, just to touch on, starting off on it now, criminal intelligence suggests that the drugs are being prepared and distributed from the address at Rathope Drive, Finglas. We've noticed an incredible increase of activity around the premises. Most recently, the occupants has upped the ante against members of Garda Síochána by actively setting out to damage Garda vehicles. It is believed that, especially in recent times, that the occupants of Drive wish to make the surrounding area a no-go for Garda Síochána to patrol and certainly not get out of their vehicles. We have 3 arrests that will be taking place, and that will be for an offences under the Criminal Damage Act. All 3 prisoners will be conveyed to Blanchardstown.
The dogs in the street know they are dealing from this address, but they're living in a life of luxury, so to speak, with their bulletproof windows and bulletproof doors.
Intelligence suggests that the aforementioned individuals have readily access to firearms, are known to play an active role in drugs distribution, and 3 of their close associates have been murdered in the city in recent weeks and months.
With that in mind, there's personal safety issue for every member here. It's going to be quite a volatile environment up here, and I don't want anyone not coming back or anyone coming back via the hospital or anything like that. So just bear that in mind. Mind each other.
Everyone happy? We'll get going. Here you'll be in there on the button at 9.
Roger, that will do. All units stand by there for second time. That's a green light to proceed to the rest of them. Capturing the target's house, 39. He was walked into the house and the units wanted to make him move. I am the right straight toward Park Boulevard. The units en route to over. Go!
Have him, yeah?
Relax yourself now.
Perfect, yeah.
Relax your head.
These people have absolutely no regard for police in this country. And if they're not respecting the police, what sort of fear are the community living in?
There was 4 lads standing in that garden and they ran that way.
I think the chopper might have picked them and they'd gone to another house or something.
There's cash here somewhere.
There's what?
A bag of cash that we dropped.
Jesus, how much are we talking? It's a lot, is it? We didn't touch it yet? No.
There's houses there that are friendlies towards the gang that will allow them to use their houses for storage of drugs, and also there's houses there where the people are terrified of them and a lot happens and they're not happy that it happens, but they turn a blind eye to it.
One of our primary functions as a police force is the protection of life. If we receive independent intelligence to suggest that someone's life is at risk, we then would go to the home, we would advise them, and we would serve a GIM form on them. It stands for Garda Information Message, and then we manage that threat, and we would have a dedicated detective who would liaise with the person who had the GIM form and their family.
Can I come in and have 2 seconds?
Just listen very quickly.
You're being served, all right?
You're served. We believe that there's a threat in your life, okay? I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. That's done.
Sometimes they accept the advice and they'll take it on board. Other times they basically will tell us to leave the property immediately and will not engage.
Time. 10 to.
Thank you very much.
The big thing for us is to let them know that we are there and we're never going away. Like, we're searching them, we're stopping them. That's important to have the confidence of the community with us, and also it's important for the Garda members as well to have a bit of pride in your job that you're actually making a difference when it comes to them.
Go ahead, 204.
Control, just checking, is there an ambulance on the way to this call?
Yeah, this gets me going. Mental health in the K District, you could go 3, 4, 5 mental health calls a day. A young male in his 20s, cuts on his wrist and cuts to his stomach.
In relation to mental health, the Garda station is the worst place.
We all have to recognise the issues around mental health.
I remember just roaring at the guard. I was like, do not let me go, do not let me go.
Down the knife, put down the knife.
Stand out, good man, good man.
We're here to help you, alright? Come on out, good man.
And the conversation around drugs and policing continues next with us on Virgin Media 1 with Matt and Ivan live in studio for The Tonight Show.